Hi everyone and welcome to the introduction video for the third project, which is AI powered document intelligence system. So in this video, I'm going to go through an overview of the third project and what we're going to do in this project, what the project itself is going to do and how we're going to do it. So first, let me talk to you about what the project itself is going to do. So first, the user is going to give any particular topic. And then the main engine, which is going to have OpenAI API, is going to create a document and it's going to give the document as an output, which is going to be directly downloaded into the user's disk. Now, the user themselves will not have to download it because it's going to automatically download it for them. Next, let me talk about the structure that we're going to have. Now, just like in the previous projects, we're going to have OpenAI. And this time, instead of Beautiful Soup or any other package, we're going to have a package called as Python Docs. We're going to use this to structurally build the document and give it as a prompt template. Now, just like before, we'll also be able to use Streamlit to make an interface, which will be the UI for the user to put in the topic. Now, let me also tell you about how the project is going to structure itself. Now, first, we are going to assign it a particular role, which is going to be to create documents. Then we're going to structure the prompt, and the prompt is going to be the exact structure of the document itself. So we are going to script every line by saying where the title should be, where the header should be, and we're going to make sure that it only has 5 sections to keep it short. And then again, just like in the first project, we're going to set the temperature, which is going to allow us to set it either creative, balanced, or professional. So next, let me talk about the workflow. And basically, we're going to get the input topic, and then it's going to check the text. Now, there's going to be many scenarios which it could have received the data, and one is where it already has where it's supposed to start with the title. That time it's going to skip the structure of the title and move on to the next part since the title is already given. The next scenario is when there's just text, which is just the topic. That time it's going to apply paragraphs and make text by itself. And then there's another scenario where if the text is uppercase, that time it's going to add the title and add a section. And then finally at the end, we're going to get a document which the user will get directly saved into their disk. Now there'll be two phases, and first is going to be the backend foundation, in which we are going to make all the code for creating this document. And this is also going to, as I said, directly make it download the file into the disk without requiring Streamlit. Now that is one way we are going to do the project. Then there's also going to be a bonus video in which we'll use Streamlit to make a UI interface as well. So there's going to be two ways you can do it. One way is you can just directly use your IDE to download the document and to create the document, or we can use Streamlit to make a UI where the user can type in the topic and get their document. And this time in Streamlit, they're going to have to click a button to get their document. Then let me talk about how this project is designed. So, just like all the previous projects, we're going to be using Streamlit to run on local host, and this is not going to be on a public web server, such as the usual websites that you use. So, this also gives us security and privacy. And as I said, we'll be using .env to protect our API key and to use it throughout the IDE. And documents that we generate are saved in the disk and not saved publicly. So this also gives security and privacy to your document itself. Now there are many places where we can use this project in real world, such as finance, and we can make it to get particular documents on and make tables on particular data received from banks or etc. And we can also use it in education and content creation as well for multiple purposes. So this could also be a stepping stone to the future of document automation. And we can also shorten the process of manually typing in the whole document ourselves, most of the times using a Word document or a PowerPoint presentation. And in the further future, we'll also be able to make PPTs out of this type of method. And if you go to your web browser and search, there's already many AIs being developed which can do a similar task of generating documents from scratch using a topic provided by the user. So this is our third project, and I will see you where we do the main code. See you there.